University's efforts. To begin this enlightening summit with blessings, we invite the choir team for a moment of divine reflection. Let us take this opportunity to seek wisdom and guidance. Now, to set the tone for today's discussion, we invite a visionary leader who has been instrumental in shaping the academic excellence of DePaul International Residential School. It's my pleasure to welcome Reverend Father Anish Xavier, Principal GPRS, for the inaugural remarks.
A very pleasant morning to all. Yeah, of course we are witnessing another historical event here at DePaul. A journey that we embarked 2 years back by signing MOU is getting another level. We are advancing in our collaboration with the Niagara University, USA and Canada. Then this morning we are very pleasant to have with us Honorable President of Niagara University, Reverend Dr. James Maher, CM. I know by now you know what is CM. What is CM? Chief Minister. Yeah, but for the DePaulians it means Congregation of the Mission. We just celebrated the 4th centenary of the foundation of the Congregation of the Mission on 25th of last month. You all remember, you had a holiday and a very nice lunch. Yeah, yeah, so we all belong to the same family, so it is indeed my great pleasure to welcome the President of the Niagara University, Reverend Dr. James, to our midst. 2 years back when Father came and when we signed the MOU, actually it opened many doors for and opportunities for our students. And in this year, one of our students who is graduating from grade 12 is getting ready to take admission in Niagara University. And this particular day, and the discussions that we are going to have today will definitely take us to another level of collaboration. And I'm sure this day will motivate many more students to take his path and reach Niagara University and set yourself on a higher ground. The father, as a Vincentian priest, is a person who always holds on to the Catholic values, imparting the values through education. And we always admire his incredible journey as an educationist. Today we are extremely honored to have him amidst us. His very presence is truly inspiring. Though he is the president, his simplicity is always calling us to action. So dear Father, we are extremely honored and privileged to have you with us today. So in the name of the entire DePaul family, we extend to you a cordial welcome. We also extend a cordial welcome to Dr. Chandra Foote, the Dean of the College of Education at Niagara University, who was associated with the university since 1996, if I'm not wrong. Long association with the university and her expertise and her efforts in bringing Niagara University standard is here, and we are witnessing her today. Definitely her presence also is truly inspiring, and I'm sure there is a lot more that we can learn through her and from her. And dear ma'am, we are extremely happy to have you with us today, and in the name of the DePaul family, we extend to you a cordial welcome. We are also happy to have with us Ms. Harshitha Kapoor, representing International Students Recruitment, and Mr. Agil Achayan, who is a very close associate and who represents India representative at Niagara Universities. And their contribution in bridging the gap between our institution and Niagara University and facilitating all of you to get the way through is very much remarkable and very much important. Therefore, your presence is very much important, and we value your presence and we welcome you to this gathering. It is also my great pleasure to welcome Reverend Father Sebastian Vettickal, the Assistant Provincial and the Counselor in charge of education for the Southern Indian province of the Congregation of the Mission. Is a backbone of our institution who constantly supports all the efforts and all our endeavors for bringing up the standard and bringing up the institution in a better way. So dear Father, we extend to you a cordial welcome. And also we have with us our Reverend Father Santoy Kurian, the Superior and the Campus Administrator. We welcome you, dear Father. And all credits go to Father Baiju, his long association and his way he interacts with people, the way he attracts others to him and the institution has paved way for all the way from the university to come here for this collaboration. So his presence and his contribution to the development of both the institutions, DePaul International Residential School and DePaul College, is really remarkable. So thank you, Father, and we welcome you to this college. And we also have with us Reverend Dr. Shijo Antony, the Dean of Academics of DePaul College, whose constant support takes us always miles forward. And we welcome you, dear Father. And I also extend a cordial welcome to Mr. Joshy, who is the IQAC coordinator of DePaul College. And we have with us the faculty of both the DePaul College and the DePaul International School. So we welcome you to this session. And to my dear students, this day is yours. And you all have shown much interest in joining this gathering today. I know most of you are very keen in going to Niagara. There is one guy sitting in this corner, he is studying in 8th grade. Last year onwards, he is behind me asking me to send him to Niagara University if possible this year. So many of you have shown a lot of interest in the programs that we have introduced and we are introducing today. So I wish you all the best. Let all your doubts be clarified and let you all get the visa today itself to the Niagara University. If possible, the admissions too. So wish you all the best and let us have a fruitful morning.
Thank you, Father, for your warm welcome note. Now, to set the academic discourse in motion, we are honored to welcome Dr. Chandra, Foote, Dean of School of Education at Niagara University, USA. With vast experience in global education strategies, Dr. Foote will enlighten us on the internationalization of higher education between the United States and India. Let's give her a warm welcome. Please, ma'am, the stage is yours.
Oh, okay. That's all right. It's fine. I can go, well, that's helpful. Then they won't see me when I'm reading it. It'll be fine. Thank you. I have good teacher voice, right? Did you get it? Yeah. So I'm in the School of Education, and we prepare teachers. I'm very passionate about teachers and good teaching because I was not the most well-behaved student in class. And I said, well, I shouldn't have to change. The teachers should have to change. And so for the last 28 years, I've been working at creating teachers who are open and interact more with the students so that the students can develop their skills and their passions. One of the things that I would like to do is try to engage you a little bit in my presentation. So before we start, what I would like you to do is think about your passion, something that makes you happy, and maybe you're not on fire passionate about it, but you enjoy doing it and it makes you happy. And when you do it, time just flies. And so first of all, think about what that is for you. And then think about what type of education or degree at a university level would connect to that passion. So take a second to think about it. And then one of the strategies we use as teachers is it's called a think, pair, share. Have you ever heard of a think, pair, share? You think about it, and then you turn to your neighbor, that's the pair part, and you talk about your answers, and then a couple of people will share. Okay, so think about your passion, what area of study that might connect to. So you don't have to say, I love biology. I've always loved biology so much. Obviously, I would go into biology as my degree. What do you really like to do? What do you do after school? What do you do on the weekends? What would you do if you just had some free time to do something? So what is that? And then if you can think about what that degree is or what that area of study is, maybe your neighbor can help you. Right? So I should hear noise. That means good teaching is when the students are talking. You gotta talk. Physics, mathematics, English is very good on our flights. We're very happy when the pilot tells us where we are in English and to sit back in our seats because there's going to be turbulence in English because otherwise we wouldn't know. So that's great. How about some other passions that not necessarily academic in nature? Go ahead.
My passion, I like to listen to people and I like to listen towards their thoughts and feelings. And I feel like it's completely related to psychology.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's a wonderful example. And lots of different areas about listening. So from psychology to clinical and to counseling, but just listening in lots of fields. Law is a lot of listening. I actually have in my office, if you can picture teachers when they're with the very little ones and they start to make the rules within the classroom. One of the things they will do is, you know, the little kids will, oh, we think we should behave when the teacher says to behave. And my son, who is now 20, when he was in maybe 4, he said, be a good listener. And so I have on my door in my office, be a good listener, because I'm passionate about fixing problems, and quite often it's just listening to, it's leadership is listening. They just want you to hear them quite often. They don't want you to fix their problems. So that's a good example. Back here, somebody had their hand up. Yeah.
Crypto billionaire.
What is that? Oh, yeah. I would like to get into that too. So what might you have to study?
I guess I have to go for blockchain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I guess I'll do my BBA. Then I'll do my MBA. That's gonna help
Yes.
for crypto.
And quite a lot of times the people in the computer sciences get picked up in industries before they even finish their degrees.
Yeah.
And they have lots of money thrown at them, or they mine their own money with crypto. So those are great examples. And as I present about international education, I really, really want you to remember that it isn't just about going, getting the degree, doing all the things that your family has been pushing you to. I'm not saying don't listen to them. You absolutely listen to them. But really also make sure that you remember what your passion is and know that there are degrees for those passions. And you can have a very good life and with enough money to have a family and do the things that you want to do, while also having a job and a career that you're passionate about, that you're happy to go to work. And I love where I work, and I love work. My passion area, and my degree's in psychology, by the way. I have a PhD in educational psychology. But I love going to work because I love working with students who are from about 17 years old to about 22 years old. They come in new, and they don't know exactly what they want to do. But as they start going through their program of study, I love to watch till their last year when they are, know exactly where they want to be. And because, I don't want to give something away yet. So I want to see where their careers are going, and I love when they go out into the work world and they come back and tell me where they are and remember things that we've learned. So my presentation is really going to highlight the benefits for an Indian student to study in the United States. But remember, there's lots of benefits that I'm going to say, but none of them talk about finding your passion and following it, which is the #1 rule, and you should just always remember. So first of all, I want you to think about universities that you've heard of in the United States, all right? And we're not going to have much time on this. You have to have heard of the universities. Harvard, everybody said, I was going to say, that's an easy one. Other universities. Boston University and Boston College. Others. Yale, Berkeley. Oh.
Stanford.
Huh?
Stanford.
Stanford, that's a good one.
New Virginia University.
Huh?
New Virginia University.
New Virginia?
Yeah.
West Virginia University and Virginia and Virginia Tech and Virginia Commonwealth, and there's a whole bunch of Virginias, yeah? Others?
DePaul.
DePaul's a good one, yes. And you're getting a bonus point already. My next question was going to be Catholic universities. You've named a lot of universities, and some of you have named some Catholic universities, DePaul being one of them. But which ones are Catholic? DePaul, yeah. St. Joseph's, yeah. Well, anything with Saint in front of it, you can pretty much be sure that's and St. John's, and she's getting a bonus point. Yes, Boston College is a Catholic institution. There's the Catholic University of America, that one's easily Catholic.
Niagara University.
Yes. So he gets 2 bonus points, because my next question was, can you name a Vincentian university? And we actually in this room have named all 3 of the Vincentian universities. Between St. John's and DePaul and Niagara, those are the 3 Vincentian universities in the US. You know who's the oldest?
Niagara.
Wow. You're really good. I can go now. You already know everything I'm going to say. My point with this is really to say the United States has world-class universities. They have name recognition. You walk into any potential job opportunity anywhere in the world and you say, I've studied in the university that I studied at, it will be very welcome. We have very high accreditation standards. All schools need to be reviewed by local and regional areas. You were saying that at some of the college programs that you were trying to start some new programs and they're being reviewed by the local ministry. Niagara University is really proud to make sure that all of our programs are highly accredited nationally and internationally. Do you know what it means to be accredited? What would someone have to do? The reason I'm moving from the Dean of the School of Education to working in global engagement and working with students all around the world to come to Niagara University because I'm tired of accrediting. In accreditation, what you have to do is demonstrate that you are a high quality institution and that your programs are of high quality. So within the College of Education, we have CAEP, C-A-E-P is accreditation. It's the accreditation of educator preparation. And our College of Business is AACSB accredited. Our chemistry department has an accreditation from the Chemistry Society. I would say Niagara University is probably the most highly accredited university in the world because we are binational. We have a campus in New York State and we have a campus in Ontario. And what that means is that the state or the province has to review it. But we also have national accreditations for all of our program areas. And what it means is they look at your syllabus, they look at your faculty, they look at, in our CAPE accreditation for the United States for education, they look at your student scores and your test scores, and they compare them to all of the other institutions. They look at your faculty and they look at the public. I create a teacher. That teacher goes out and gets a job teaching grade 5. She teaches for 3 years, and then her students take the state tests, and we have to measure ourselves against her student scores on the state test, say whether or not we were good at teaching her. So accreditation really means other people have come in and they have looked under every single stone to make sure that you're doing an amazing job. And it's very important to make sure that your programs where you go are highly accredited, because there are places in the world where a person can put a sign up on their wall and say, I'm now a university, come on in, pay me, and I will teach you something. And you can have a piece of paper at the end, but the piece of paper is really not very important because you didn't learn anything. The other thing is we offer very innovative learning environments. You may picture an auditorium or a lecture hall, but there are very few auditoriums and lecture halls in universities anymore. What we really like are small classrooms where students can sit around at a table and they're talking to each other. The student-to-student conversation is as important, if not more important, than the professor to the student, especially because of technology. If I wrote the book on something, I wrote the textbook, I know everything about it, and I come in to teach you, I should know that you could also go online, find that book, read it, and you don't have to sit and hear me tell you everything that I'm going to say. So when you come in to meet with a professor or to go into a class, you want to have them know that you've already read all of the things that you needed to read. We call it a flipped classroom. So rather than doing your homework at home and your projects at home, let's do our projects and our homework together in class. And we'll assume when you go home you read, or you watch the video for whatever you had to learn about the class. So we want to have very engaging classrooms and engaging learning environments. And a lot of interdisciplinary courses. We don't want you to say biology here, and we just take biology, and chemistry is over here. Because you can't do biology without knowing chemistry, and you can't do chemistry without knowing biology, and some math. So you have to put those things all together. We have a course that all students take in their first semester. It's called Vincentian Social Justice. And all of our professors love to teach that course, because I might be a theater professor, or a math professor, or a computer science professor. But then within my class, and the students can pick which topic of Vincentian social justice they want to take. But within the class, we talk about that topic and what social justice might mean related to that topic. So it's very interdisciplinary and practical. And then lastly, global recognition. When, again, I said before, you get that diploma, you get that piece of paper, you have it on your resume that you have completed an international degree, especially in the United States. Anybody anywhere is going to recognize that as it's not just a piece of paper, it's an important piece of paper. The next thing that is important about you and experiencing in international education in the United States is diverse cultural exposure. So trying to engage you again, so it's not just me talking at you. I want you to think about a word or a phrase in English that you say here that we wouldn't say in the United States. Or you can think of it the opposite way. You probably have seen plenty of television shows and movies where it was said in English and you're like, we wouldn't say it that way. That's just kind of a little bit backwards. So I'm going to give you one example. I was talking to my colleagues over here, and they said that Father Maher and that Father Baiju were batchmates. What? Batchmates. And I thought I just didn't understand what's a batch? The only thing I ever had a batch of was cookies. You make a batch of cookies. And then I realized that they meant classmates. So think about some examples like that you might say that's a little bit different. We're doing the think, pair, share. You think, or else you just steal your neighbor's idea. Understand my team? Okay. Anybody got a good one? Tell on your neighbor. It's a good example of, we just don't say that. What?
Mother tongue. Mother tongue.
Mother tongue? Yeah, we don't usually, well, because we're very English-centric in the United States, so I just assume everybody just speaks English. So there is no, and seems like everyone I've met here has a mother tongue that isn't necessarily English. Other ideas?
Cousin, sister, cousin, brother.
No? Together?
Yeah, they call it like cousin, sister is a female cousin.
Yeah, no, I never even heard of that before, so yep, exactly, yeah.
Soccer.
Huh?
Soccer.
Soccer, oh yeah, yes. You have football, we have soccer, and American football is very different. You've seen American football? Yeah. We have the Buffalo Bills. You have your hat on there? Oh, I left his hat in the car. The Buffalo Bills, so on Sunday is the Super Bowl in the United States, and that is like the biggest television day of all time. We eat, the only spicy food we usually eat at home is chicken wings, buffalo chicken wings, and those can get very hot. You all have hotter food. Every time I get a cookie, it's too hot for me. So you would understand chicken wings if you came to the United States. But buffalo chicken wings, they came from our area, and then there's a lot of people who don't even like football watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials, because the commercials are so funny. And we often make an assignment for our marketing programs, for students in the marketing. You need to record the Super Bowl and analyze the advertisements and the commercials to think about whether they were good or bad. Because some of them are so crazy that when you finish, you're like, I don't even know what they were advertising and what they were marketing. Whereas others they're really engaging, and you know, I have to go out and get that right now. I don't even know what that is. And so a lot of companies who are doing startups will pay for one commercial on the Super Bowl, and they never have any other commercials the whole time because they get their name out there and they know everybody's going to know them at that time. I had another example was Reached. My friend Harshitha said she was on the phone and she wanted to know, have you reached yet? And then when she got to the airport, she said, I have just reached. That's all I understand with you. Have you arrived yet? Are you here yet? Is something that you would say. So the reason I ask you these examples is because when you come to the United States, you all speak very good English, at least the ones who've spoken so far. It's not the same. The English is different. And if you're going to work in any sort of international capacity, you have to be able to set yourself down in different communities and cultures and understand the words that they're saying. Do you use the word queue for getting into a line? Anytime my husband and I travel to some other country and they tell us to get in the queue, we just giggle. We don't use the word queue either. So you gain exposure from a multicultural society. At Niagara University, 23% of our students are international. Of course, most of that is Canada, because we are right over the border from Canada. But most of Ontario, Canada, are first-generation Canadians. So all those people have come from somewhere else in the world. So it's really interesting to see the different perspectives and ideas. You have personal growth. Imagine, you take your suitcase, one big suitcase, you leave in August, and you don't come back for 4 years. I don't know how many of you do your own laundry and cook your own meals and try to figure out how am I going to get from here to there. It's an amazing experience. And so we have 4 first-year students with us right now at the university, 3 in nursing, and we have 4, just the first year of the 4, 3 in nursing and 1 in computer sciences. And they started out living on campus in one of the residence halls, and then they decided to move together off campus into an apartment. And it turns out that our local grocery stores don't have the spices that they like to cook with. So we did a lot of exploring around in the community. We finally found this great place that I never even knew was there, and I've lived there 28 years. But this is where the great spices are. It's right across from the library. I go by it every single day. Oh, that's where you get your spices. So now I'll be able to tell you when you come. But you have personal growth from doing that. And certainly exposure to American culture. So on our campus, in my pictures, I have pictures, you can come see them later, I'll leave them for you. Pictures of students throwing snowballs at one another. And students go sledding. They take, how many of you have ever been sledding? You know what I'm talking about with sledding? Okay. Most of our international students have not experienced snow. And when you get to Niagara Falls, you experience snow. We have an ice rink on campus that's indoor. You can learn to ice skate, to figure skate. They have ice hockey. We have a very competitive ice hockey team that plays all over the country. Have you seen an ice hockey game?
Yes.
Oh, if I'm frustrated and I've had a bad week at work, I go there and I just feel so much better. I didn't have to get hurt, and I didn't have to hurt anybody else. But you watch those guys bang somebody up against the wall, and then my 2 sons played hockey. And when you're the mom and they're getting banged up against the wall, you spend more money on the helmet then. But you would have exposure to all of these different things. But we finally, just in this last summer, got a cricket field in our city in Niagara Falls. And it's kind of funny because there are 5 baseball fields around. And then the local Indian community, especially the doctors from the hospital, said, I miss cricket, we're having cricket, and they funded a cricket field there. So all the little kids who this tall and up are learning baseball are watching cricket going on. So you would learn baseball and American football, but we also have soccer on campus. We have a men's and a women's soccer team. We have lacrosse. We have running, swimming, basketball. We have a men's and women's basketball teams, and they play all across the nation. We have a theater right on campus, and we have an art gallery on campus that is dedicated to folk art. So within folk, we have a display of calligraphy, art that is calligraphy. We've had in the past, Irish dance costumes. You know Irish dance? Well, the costumes are very, very famous and beaded, and so looking at the different Irish costumes. The Native American population does beadwork, and so we have a reservation right nearby our campus where they do Tuscarora beadwork, and they come in and display those kinds of things there. So you can learn a lot about cultures from all over the world by being at an American university. Career advancement. Obviously, that probably was the first thing your parents would say when you told them that you were coming to hear about it. The most important thing is going to be your career advancement. You get there and you can go anywhere with your career, which is true. One thing that you need to think about is it's not just sitting in your classes and getting your degree finished. It's networking. It's knowing all of your classmates or batchmates, if you will, and getting to know them and getting engaged with them because they're from all over the place, and who knows what's going to open doors with your friends. But it's also about the alumni. So we have 37,000 alumni all over the world, and they have gone into businesses wherever they are, and they hear or know that you're a Niagara University student, they want to grab you. Have you ever heard of Boca Raton? Boca Raton. It's a very, Mar-a-Lago? What's this name of?
Yeah, Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago, have you heard of that? That's where President Trump lives when he lives in Florida, is this big resort area. Well, nearby is Boca Raton. It's a very, very upscale, let's say, resort town in Florida. And about 10 years ago, we sent our first teacher down there, and she got a job as a secondary school teacher in Boca Raton. And since then, 10 more students have gone. She wasn't in school with them, but she has moved from being a teacher to being a principal in the school, and is always calling back and saying, Dr. Foote, do you have any students in biology? Do you have any students in chemistry that can come down and do that? And so they bring more and more people to their communities because they are alumni. So we have very good connections with our alumni and our employers. There's also the opportunity for internships and work experience while you're in your program. So if you're in the nursing program, for example, you can, in the summer, go to a local hospital. They're not going to let you do surgery yet. But there's lots of jobs that a nurse they would let you go in and take the pulse and the temperature and do those kinds of things and pay you to do them along the way. We also have internship opportunities on campus in different offices. Father has quite often, especially if the student was in communications, would have somebody working in reception in his office, because it's very important when the local dignitary or a state senator or something comes to the president's office to welcome that person. And so you would have an opportunity to work in that office to do things like that. In the United States, you can have CPT, which is your opportunity to get paid work experience while you're in your program. And then after you finish, there's OPT, which is your opportunity to get additional experience in the United States and work there while you are, just after you finish. Now some fields let you only have 1 year of OPT. That's because the United States has lots of people working in those areas and they don't necessarily need you. But if it was the medical field or a STEM field or technology, anything like that, you can have an extra year at least. And especially in healthcare, the organizations are very interested in sponsoring your visa for permanent employment there, because we just can't get enough nurses or doctors or even any person working in the medical field. On a university campus, you get access to cutting edge research. Have any of you actually done research with your teachers? Like they were studying and they wanted to present at a conference, or they wanted to write a paper about something, and you did the research with them. About 48% of our students at the university actually, at the undergraduate level, you don't have to wait until you're a master's degree or in a doctoral program, you do research right with the professor. So we have a professor in biochemistry who's developed a delivery system for cancer medication, cancer treatments. And her students work right with her in her lab. We have another professor who, it's hard for me to explain because I don't understand it that much, but I know that you go out into the Niagara River and you gather water samples from different areas, and they write reports about potential areas for pollution, or what bacteria or things like that are in the water that might be damaging the fish supply, and make reports and things like that. In the College of Education, we take our students to state and national conferences and present and publish with them about best teaching practices, and they'll talk about things that they tried in their schools that we encourage them to try, and they'll even say, these are the things that didn't work very well, and I have to work on it again for next time. So you have the opportunity to work with the faculty to get funding to do the research too. Quite often they can pay you to do the research. Which also, because they have these really neat labs, lets you try out innovation and create new things. We don't want you to just learn exactly what we already know. We want you to play around with it and create something new, which can make your own name for yourself. And a lot of universities, or at least they get together with other institutions, provide seed money for startups. So you come up with a great idea. One of our professors in the computer science creates apps and teaches the student. One of the courses is just create an app, and here's how you do it. You think of a great idea, but let's say it was a really great idea and you think that you can sell it. Then you can look for funding for a startup. So in the Buffalo, Niagara region, there's 43 North, and they offer, students go in and they can, or not students, well, they can be students, but adults are going in with their ideas, and they judge them, and the winning entry gets $1 million to start their startup in our region. And because it's a great idea that came from you, but we want to have more businesses in our area, they're very excited to provide that money to start that business right here with us. Soft skills. You know what soft skills are? No? That's an American word maybe, what a soft skill is? Yeah. Okay. Communication skills, being able to work with other people, being a leader, critical thinking and problem solving. Those are what we call soft skills. And because we are very interactive in our classrooms, students have to develop soft skills. You have to be willing to speak with your fellow student, to speak to the professor. And quite often, my son is a first-year student, and as a mom, I was very sad to see him go, and I was very scared for him, because I knew if he ever had problems, he was not going to want to go and talk to the professor in the professor's office hours. And he has already developed that skill, because I said, I can't help you with whatever it is you're learning. I don't know what that is. You have to go in and talk to them, and you develop those communication skills and willingness to listen. But we have lots of things. We've all done group projects before. Group projects. Most people, especially the high achievers, don't like group projects because you think I had to do it all. But it doesn't matter. Someday you're going to be CEO or leader of some organization, and you're going to have to work with other people and understand how to help them help you. So working as a team is really important, and we offer lots of opportunities to do that within the class, but we also offer opportunities to do that outside of the class. So we have over 100 different clubs on campus. You can have a chess club, a fencing club, a badminton club, a philosophy club. Students will have different political organizations, American Sign Language Club, and any student who, if you get 3 students together and you have an idea that if you have something in common, you can start a club and you get money from the Student Government Association to start your own club. Lots of opportunities for scholarships and financial aid. We love to have international students, especially from India, to come to the university. We know that you're facing challenges. Just getting from India to Niagara is expensive. So we have to help and supplement your education. And so we offer $100,000 to students to study as a break on their tuition and their fees for the university. So that's $25,000 every year, up to $100,000 for the schools that we partner with. And your school we partner with, just so you know. But other institutions have it as well. And there's a return on investment. So people are concerned, if I have to spend all of this money, what's it going to get me in the end? Very high return on investment. We have very high graduation rates, and 97% of our students are employed within 1 year of graduation. And all of the universities have to tell you what their employment rates are. Quality of life. We have safe campuses. We have usually beautiful campuses. They look more, well, they look like your campus is a beautiful campus. But safe, wide open, lots of green spaces. We have our own safety organizations right on campus. Very vibrant student life. Students go to the games. They can join the dance team or the cheerleading squad, or they can join other clubs and sports. Whether it's the Division I, where many people just go to watch because we're not that good, or join one of the clubs or intramural sports, which is kind of to have fun. And lots of travel opportunities to travel all over the country in areas that are affiliated with what you're looking at. Post-graduation opportunities. Once you have the diploma, opens doors to jobs everywhere. You can go on to graduate work. We have lots of programs, and they call them accelerated programs, where you can start taking your grad program in your undergrad. Opportunity to get work visas. So I'm summarizing my benefits because you were giving me my time, right? Okay. Wrapping it all up together is you get a in the United States, lots of research opportunities, diverse cultural exposure, and personal growth, career advancement and networking, and enhanced skills, especially soft skills for living in the global workforce. Now, I think I'm opening it up for questions and for Father to... Okay. Okay. Then I'm finished.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm bringing this right back to you for good talk.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insights in making us understand the benefits of pursuing international education, especially in Niagara University. I think all of our students will force us to take flight today, and we'll be there tomorrow.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. The next session will offer an insightful perspective on the transformative impact on higher education across borders. We are deeply honored to have Reverend Father James J. Maher, CM, the President of Niagara University, USA, to share the Niagara experience in internationalization. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you. How many people remember me from 2 years ago? Do you remember what I said to you 2 years ago? I'll help you with that. You want- So I said I would come back. Right? That I said when we sign the agreement, that the agreement is a living agreement. And so it doesn't just get signed and put in the drawer or on the shelf or wherever, or the digital file, but that this is a living relationship. And so I want to tell you how incredibly impressive you are as young people. And I speak for Father Baiju, my batchmate, and would say that I know he and the leadership here are so proud of you for your studies and how dedicated you are. 10 years. Anyone want to share? What would your life look like in 10 years? What do you think? Tell me your first name.
Shijo.
Thank you.
I think like my life in 10 years will be I'll be working as a clinical psychologist, helping people, talking to them, listening to them, helping with them to get them better, with a happy family.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. I'm quite confident that's what it would be. Yeah. How about someone else? What do you think? What do you think? 10 years.
I'll be staying next to Trump's house.
For a minute.
How about someone else? Where would you see yourself? Where would you like to be in 10 years?
I'll be a CEO of a company.
Be a CEO. And you know, I will tell you, in the United States, that part of the work of a president of a university, a lot of it is fundraising. So as CEO, I would introduce you to Father Baiju.
Yes.
And we would put your name on this campus for the
Yeah.
right amount of support, financial support,
Yeah.
right?
We'll name the building after you.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. What else? Someone else? How about yourself? What do you think? Yeah.
I think I would be a part of the Indian government.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. How about one more? One more person. I don't remember you. How are you today?
Doing fine.
Good.
Father, how are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you. What do you
Hopefully,
think?
I'll be thriving in the finance field. This is what I'm interested in.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, one of my favorite books is, and you can look this up, the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. If you have a chance to read the book or watch his videos on YouTube, he's passed away, but his book is very, very popular. And one of the habits of success, he says, is begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. And so where do I see myself trying to get to? And then the habits that we have, that we develop, are the habits that help us to get there. So one of the things that Dr. Foote talked about was this whole idea of what life in university life is like. And that, so to be a psychologist, or to be in the Indian government, or to be in finance, or to be a clinical psychologist, or to be a teacher, educator, or successful in the field of medicine, you have to begin to think about, what am I going to do to make sure that I'm successful, give myself the best chance for being successful. And so coming to university life is a critical first step component of that. And so here are some things that I think are just really, really important. The important thing is that your teachers and your leadership at the school here are already doing these things with you. So you're building the habits of success, and then you take them further as you go to university life. And one is commit yourself to academic excellence. Commit yourself to academic excellence. And that doesn't mean getting straight A's. It doesn't mean getting the hundreds. It means that I'm going to get the best as much as I can learn, and in fact, I'm going to learn to love learning, because that's a habit that I need all my life. And so think about not only areas that you excel, but where do you think you need to develop? Do you need to be a better writer? Do you need to be a little bit more better with numbers? You know, I used to be a basketball player, and so one of the things that they always talked about was the successful basketball player knows how to use their left hand and their right hand. And so when you think about being a learner and academic excellence, think about your life as committing to learning in everything that you do. Second, focus on your personal and social development. You know, in life, the most important thing we can do is build relationships. Everything in life comes from strong relationships. Build those relationships. Be a person of high character. Be trustworthy. Be a good friend to people. And many blessings will come back to you in ways that you can't even imagine. Third, develop your spiritual life and your spiritual development, your life of faith. Recognize that all of us in life need God. We need to be able to rely on a power and a life and force outside of ourselves. And so be a person who knows that and who has that faith and that spirituality that you can rely on in times when, not only when things are good, but in times for all of us in life when things get challenging. And fourth, you know, St. Vincent de Paul dedicated his life to helping people who are poor and suffering. And so whatever your field of study is in your life, make sure that you have a life that you're somehow connected to people who need your help. And that's a part of a Vincentian education, is always remembering people who are poor, who are suffering, and helping them not only in the moment, as important that is, but also use your study and your life to address those things that create suffering and poverty, and dedicate your life to do that. That's really the education that you're receiving here at DePaul, and that's the education that we offer at the university level at Niagara. So, you know, our message to you is we would love to have you as our students. The most important thing is that you commit yourself to being the end in mind, academic excellence, personal and social development, and your spiritual development. And if you do that, you will be massively successful in life in ways that you can't even imagine right now. So, thank you for your time, for welcoming us, for having us here today. We're so proud of you as our Vincentian brother, sister, brother, cousins. And we continue to pray for you in your development. So thank you.
Thank you for your inspiring words. As education continues to transcend boundaries, students today have unprecedented opportunity to study abroad. To guide us through the process and possibilities, we now welcome Ms. Harshitha Kapoor, International Student Recruitment, Niagara University, USA, for an insightful session.
Thank you so much. No, that's fine. Am I audible? Yeah, I think I am. I have a very loud voice. Okay. So, hello everyone. Thank you so much, first of all, for coming here and giving us your time. We know that is exam time going on. So, thank you so much for that. So, firstly, I would like to say one thing. Whenever you start your study abroad process, so you need to keep some things in mind whenever you are selecting any university, any course. So, I would like to tell you a few things that you can keep in your mind. First is you have to do your research. Research about what? Can anyone tell? For what like things you have to do the research? If you're going and planning on a study abroad journey, I said about earlier that you need to pursue your interest first. So you need to research about your academic interest and what are the opportunities available outside the world, right? And second can be the location. where you want to go. You cannot want to go, you don't want to go into a country where there are lesser opportunities for the field that you are interested in, right? So second can be the location, the research about the location, and third can be the scholarships available for your particular academic interest, right? Because every university, country offers different kind of scholarships to all the different students. There are merit-based scholarships, there are athletic scholarships, there are trustee scholarships. So there are different scholarships available. So you might want to research about that what kind of scholarships I will get when I study into that particular university or a particular country at a particular location. Okay? And then at the end, you might want to look, right? Program structure is the most important thing. Whenever you are, let's say you have opted for the hospitality management, okay, but you have an interest, let's say, in supply chain as well, okay. So you need to look at the program structure for whole the 4 years, which will include 8 semesters in total. So what you will be going to study there is that program structure relies with your, that is the first thing. Second, I will talk about the requirements. Whenever you are applying to any of the university in United States as like an undergraduate, you may have some similar requirements across, you will find across all the universities. First is definitely that you need to have all your academic transcripts in place. That is starting from your grade 9, 10, 11 and 12. Not the final mark sheet, but yes, you can provide us the predicted mark sheet that can be given by your school. That yes, let's say for, what's your name? Kirti. So Kirti will be scoring, let's say 85 to 90% in those particular subjects. So your school will write that letter for us and we will definitely consider that letter and the scores that are provided by your school. Okay? So why we are looking from grade 9 to 12? Because we want to see the improvement and how you have grown as a student in the academics. But just not academics, I would like to tell you that we do look, not us, not Niagara University, but all the universities across the world, they do look at the overall performance of the student recommendations. So at least 3, that is the minimum requirement anywhere in the US. So whenever you are applying, you will ask your teachers, professors, principal to provide a letter of recommendation. Okay? So we need to see how good you are, what is your relationship, and what are your teachers saying about you. Okay? And last would be an essay. So that you will see whenever you go to any US university website, that you will see that we have a requirement of essay. So why we have that? Because we want to know what are your thoughts about any topic. Let's say about AI, about a walk in the garden, anything. But you need to write an essay for, let's say, 250 to 300 words expressing your own thoughts. Okay? So that is also a requirement at the university. I've talked about the requirements, but I would like to share one other aspect of coming to abroad. That is, now I would like to cover the challenges that international students might face. The first is the homesickness. I understand that you are away from your home, but how we can overcome that? Homesickness is generally there in the international students, but how we can overcome that? We can definitely, maintain connections with our family, do regular video calls. The other day we met with the parents of the students who are already there in the campus. So we met their parents in Kerala, and they were actually, all of the parents were on the video calls with their daughters. So that was really nice to see. So I would definitely recommend maintaining the connections with your family, regular follow-ups, check-ins, how they are doing, and telling them about your experiences. Okay, that I have done this, I met that person, today we have done that, like that. And also, I would like to encourage you to engage yourself in some activities. We have hundreds of clubs available over the campus. And if none of that interests you, you can start your own club. Like Dr. Chandra said, you need to have only 3 friends with you, and you can start your own club. Earlier, like last year, we were not having an international students club, and we never realized that. But when one student came from Kolkata, she started her international student club. And now in that club, she's having more than 50 students from different countries. Let's say from Pakistan, from Nepal, from India. So now they do their own events, express their cultures, maybe their food or something like that. So So engage yourself in the activities where you will not feel the homesickness. Okay. Second challenge can be not for you guys because you are already coming from an English medium school, but second challenge can be a language. Sometimes, you know, we are so much into our local language that we find difficult to communicate in that language, which is, you know, the specialization or the particularity of that particular country. So I would like to tell you that enroll yourself in some language courses before you even come to that country. Okay, that might help you in future in finding the part-time jobs, in communicating with your peers, your friends, or maybe in networking. Okay, and third is the financial planning. Everybody will say that yes, I want to go and study abroad, but the third challenge can be for you and for your parents as well is the financial planning. So I suggest that whenever you are planning to go to any university, so do plan your budget. Realistic budget about your living, about your tuition fees, about your accommodation expenses, about your travel expenses, so that you might have an idea and your parents might have an idea that okay, this will be the budget and we have to be ready with the funds. Because in every country, not only US, but every country will look at your financial proofs that you are having sufficient funds to study abroad and to survive there. So that is the third challenge, which I will suggest that you start preparing. So as father said that it's not only an academic pursuit, it's a transformative journey. So it's all about personal growth, global awareness, and the deeper understanding of the world. So I wish you guys all the best, and if you need anything and any document or maybe any information for Niagara University or for any of the US universities, we are there to help you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harshitha. We now open the floor for an interactive session with our students, both the PRS and the PPC. You can ask questions towards dignitaries.
How does Niagara University integrate hands-on learning internships or co-op opportunities with the learning?
So the question is, how does Niagara University integrate hands-on learning opportunities and internships? Yes. So one of the commitments we have at Niagara University is what we refer to popularly as experiential education. And so that really means that we commit ourselves to providing you to take what you're learning in the classroom and apply it in the community and receive academic credit for that. That takes the form of academic service learning. Thank you. So that takes the form of academic service learning. What would be examples of academic service learning? One would be that all the students in the general education curriculum would do 6 to 10 hours of community service, and they write about that in their class, and the university would work with you to set that up. What would be some specific example of what a student doing in their academic discipline? So our accounting students work with people to help them, people who need help with their taxes. So many times it's people of limited family income, and they don't know how to file their tax returns. And so the students will work with them, so they actually help them to gain a refund and they receive academic credit for that. Also at Niagara University, what we've instituted are what we refer to as paid academic internships. So you are in a class, you're doing an academic internship, and on top of that, you're receiving a stipend for that academic service learning. And so that ranges in all of our colleges: nursing, sciences, professional programs, education, business. And so that's a way in which we help the students make a difference in the work that they're doing from their study, but also it helps the students develop their career pathway as they go forward. And they can say to an employer, hey, I worked as an business or a nonprofit or in education or in nursing?
It's going to give a couple more examples. In the computer sciences, a lot of our internships and our experiential learning are very Vincentian in nature. So there was a concern in the city of Niagara Falls that to having internet access in some of the neighborhoods. So one of our professors worked with the students to scope out and do GIS mapping where internet was available and where it was not available. And that money, the data turned into a grant that the city of Niagara Falls and Niagara University received to provide, what do you call those little Wi-Fi boxes, so we have vending machines that allow free, what are the chip things that you can take home to get access to Wi-Fi or to have computers at home. During COVID, some of our social work students went out into the neighborhoods, especially neighborhoods that were very concerned about getting vaccinations, and went door to door and met with the community to talk about vaccinations. And there's some areas where, so some people that talked about working in government, where residents don't vote. And so our students in political science went door to door and were talking about who the candidates, not telling them how to vote, but helping them to get registered to vote and talking to them about what the candidates were. So they're real life experiences.
My question is, what are the financial aid options or scholarships available for incoming students?
Okay.
So yeah, earlier we used to have different kind of scholarships depending on the merits, but now we have developed a strong relationship with the balls. So we are offering, especially for the ball student, we are offering a guaranteed scholarship of $1 lakh for the bachelor's program, any of the bachelor's degree that you may want to apply. So that is $25,000 per annum. For 4 years, you will get $1 lakh of scholarship. So that is a guaranteed one. If any one of you apply to any of our majors, we are having 100 plus majors in the university and 55 plus minors. So you can either choose a combination of a major and a minor, or you can go for a double major program. But for sure, you are getting a scholarship for that.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to know what career services are available for students and how early we can start utilizing them.
So we have a center for career development on the campus with a full staff. And so right away, when you come to Niagara University, we put you on a career pathway. And so the college that you're in, the faculty and the dean, and also the Career Services Center begin to set up with you your academic paid internship and the opportunity to develop your career pathway. So right away, when you come to Niagara University, you'll be on this career pathway.
Yeah, we have an app that students sign up for. It's called Handshake, and they can submit their resumes into Handshake, but they can also see all of the job opportunities. And in March or April of every year, we have a career fair on campus where over 100 different organizations and agencies come right to campus to work with the students, and some of our students get hired right there on site. And our Career Services Office will help you to understand what a resume looks like in each of the disciplines. A teaching resume looks much different than a government resume, and so they'll help you to write things on there that are appropriate. They also interview the human resources coordinators in all of the industries and ask them what their they tell us what their interview questions are, so we can practice with you before you go for your interview, and they'll even record them, which is sort of uncomfortable sometimes, but then they help you to better improve your answers and responses to the interview questions.
your question in that? Yeah.
Hi, I wanted to know about the housing facilities provided for the students. And in addition to that also, I wanted to know what are the on-campus accommodations that you're giving for the first year students?
Yes, so we have about 1,200 students that live on the campus, and we have a variety of housing opportunities for students. So you can live in a single room, or you can choose a roommate. And then as you move along in the university, there are opportunities to live in the campus apartments on campus. And then we're actively pursuing housing in the city of Niagara Falls that would be apartment-style housing for our students as we go forward. So we're pretty full, pretty close to capacity on the campus. So we have a little over 1,200 students that live in the Lewiston campus. What was the second part of your question?
I wanted to know if it was easy for the first year students to get on-campus accommodation.
Yes, so as long as you apply and you send in your housing, it's a minor deposit, but we reserve the room for you. We have about, of our first year freshman class, about 73% choose to live on campus. It's a great way, and we do housing around themes. So we offer students the opportunity to live with other students that have similar interests or similar majors going forward. So they call that in the United States living learning communities. It's a great opportunity at Niagara. Many of the students tell us that they love the new dining hall, the library, and they love the opportunity to live on campus with their classmates.
Can you describe the opportunities for undergraduate research and how students can get involved?
Yes, so as Dr. Foote said, close to half of our students have opportunities to do research with a faculty member, and that's probably over 25% above the national average in the United States for undergraduate students. So let me just give you some examples of how that happens. We have opportunities in the sciences. We have a faculty member who has developed a delivery system to treat lead poisoning and diabetes. And she has a lab on the campus and in Buffalo. So our students work closely with her and they present at conferences. But I would also say in the other areas of discipline that there's opportunities if you are in the liberal arts and the humanities to work with the faculty member on writing projects. We have about 10 to 12 of our students from the College of Hospitality, Sport, and Tourism who are at the Super Bowl this weekend in New Orleans, and they're working that. There's opportunities for students to present in conferences with faculty members. So there's a whole, across the 5 colleges, there's great opportunities for the diversity of opportunities for research. We have in the finance area, Financial Lab, Investment Club. And so they actually control a portion of the university's portfolio, and they work with a faculty member at the Horseshoe College of Business to decide how we would strategically align the investments of that. So across all the colleges, how a student would get involved in right away is they would declare that. I have an interest in this and working with a faculty member. And one of the things that we've done at Niagara University is we hire a faculty member who are very student-centered. We say to the faculty when they interview, listen, if you want to do your research and stay in your office and teach a large lecture hall, there's another university for you, but it's not Niagara. And so we want faculty members who are teacher scholars, and teacher comes first. I often say, the students say to me, and I ask them, and they're very honest with me, they often will tell me, I love the faculty members I work with. And they love them because they're very supportive, and they're very challenging. And so oftentimes our faculty members will challenge our students and say, hey, this was pretty good, but you could do better. You could do better than that. And so that's really the, if you will, the way that we've tried to structure the academic life at the university.
Other than sports and club activities and academic activities, what are the campus facilities for students involved in the extracurricular activities?
Yes, so we have a lot of student life, what I would call formal activities that are organized that you referred to, some of the club activities. We also have social events for the students. We send them on trips to Buffalo for different activities, and we do that within the region. And so the opportunity really is to develop the social life for the students on the campus. And then we'll have activities with students that live in the residence halls together. So they might do something as a floor of one of the residence halls and have all sorts of activities. And then we try to structure a lot of activities on the campus so students can do things like laser tag together. We have a pretty brand new dining facility that we use for activities. And then we have a renovation of our campus recreation facility. So we have spin classes, yoga, opportunities for students to exercise there, and then a lot of intramural activities for students. You know, for example, if you like badminton, there would be an opportunity to play badminton or ping pong or those kinds of things as well. So a lot of formal activities and then sort of the informal as well. But we want you studying.
What unique academic programs or specialization does Niagara University offer that stand out from other universities?
So I would say, thank you for that question. What are the unique opportunities, academic programs? One of the things that we have really tried to do and had some success with is partnerships with industry. And so across all the colleges, you will find partnerships with industry. So let me give you one example. We have a center that we're developing for supply chain, business innovation, and ethics in the College of Business and Food Systems. So one of the great needs we have is to be able, the companies have come to us and said, we need your students for internships and for opportunities to potentially work in the food industry, from the development of food to the marketing of food to the management. So supermarkets, Rich Products, which is a big global company that's based in Buffalo. That's an example of, well, when you come into Niagara University, you're going to meet people right away from industry. We do that in the hospitality, sport, and tourism. And as an example, in Buffalo, ice hockey is very popular. And so we have what the professional hockey team, ice hockey team, is the Buffalo Sabres. So we have the Sabre Scholars. And these are students, a dozen students a year, who work with the Buffalo Sabres in the development of sports management going forward. So from game operations to learning the business of professional sports, and we do that across the industry. In our nursing college, we have a relationship with the hospitals, not only for clinical placements, but for students to do paid internships in the hospital going forward. The College of Education has incredible partnerships with a number of schools in the school system in the city of Niagara Falls. And so these are just examples. We feel and believe we owe it to you as students that when you come in, you don't just come into a university, but you come into a university that's deeply connected with your career aspirations and with industry and partnerships as we go forward. I talked about paid internships. Our students in counseling and mental health are working with their partners from the University of Buffalo and the city city school system in the city of Niagara Falls to support students in mental health development in the high schools as well. So those are just examples of in all the colleges, the 5 colleges, partnerships with industry, the nonprofit sector, the educational sector, so that you can really create an impact in your studies and your work, but also that you start down your career pathway at Niagara right away.
Yeah, so my question is, how does the university ensure safety and security of students on campus, especially for first year students or new students?
Yeah, so safety is critical because it's a little bit like when you go to the doctor and you have your blood work. If you're not healthy, you can't do anything in life, right? And so safety has to be first and foremost. So we have an active, in all the residence halls, we have what we call resident assistant, community leaders, community assistants. So on every floor you live, there's a community assistant. We utilize cameras on the campus as well for your safety. And we have a very, very active campus safety force on the campus that are great with building relationships with the students on the campus. And so we're very public about any incidents that happen on the campus and communicate with the students. And we're very careful about how we manage that as we go forward. So there's a deep and abiding commitment to provide and make sure the campus is safe.
What are the student to faculty issues and how accessible are professors from outside of us?
Yep. So our faculty-student ratio generally is about 11 to 1, 11 students to 1 faculty member. And so, as I said before, it's really, really important that when we hire faculty across the 5 colleges, that we're very clear with them in the interview process that we want teacher scholars. And we want you really understanding when you come to Niagara, you work with the students. This is not a big land-grant university, which are great universities, but you're not going to be taught by a graduate assistant. You're going to be taught by a really good teacher scholar who knows their field and is going to be accessible to you. Oftentimes, our faculty members will have students to their houses in small groups for dinners and opportunities to meet them for lunch on the campus, to do group projects. So that's really, really critically important. Because at the university, the core relationship is the student-faculty relationship. And everything builds out from that as we go forward. So that's just an uncompromising demand I have and we have at Niagara University, that we want teacher scholars who are highly engaged with the students.
Good afternoon.
Yes, hello.
My question was, how does Niagara University help students' mental health and just their overall health?
Yeah, so thank you for that question, and it's a very, very critical one on the support of mental health. And so we have an active counseling center, and that is accessible and available to students 24/7. Also, we have very active programming across the campus with student affairs, residence life, international relations, and campus ministry. And part of that is to begin as young people to teach you the skills around health and wellness and taking care of yourself, and the things that you can do right away that build your strength and your mental health. Harshitha talked about homesickness, so we're always on the lookout, particularly for international students and students who come to us from far away in the United States and Canada, making sure that we're connecting them with their resident assistant, with the student affairs people, with the leaders, the student leaders on the campus. And then when students need to talk to a counselor, we make it accessible and available for the students as we go forward. It's a critical, important piece because students are coming in transition in their lives, and so we're very sensitive to that.
As you mentioned, there are 200 clubs, right, and many different opportunities for sports and other extracurricular activities. I'd like to know if there are any musical opportunities such as orchestra or symphony.
We have opportunities, that's something that could be created. We have a very, very active theater program, and oftentimes students who have music interests will connect with some of the musicals to be able to play for those as well. Yeah.
We have different a cappella and choral groups, and it's not orchestra, but we're always looking for members for the band at the basketball games to get the crowds going.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I have researched about HULT, University of Business, and TETL. They provide internships all over the world. I mean, like every 2 or 3 months, students from there travel many countries and do practical business stuff. So is there any program in your university where we go to different countries and we do our own practical business there?
Yes, so one example would be, we have students that go to Italy, and they do around our food systems and supply chain. They do study around and tasting around the development of food and food systems in the country of Italy. Oftentimes, we will have faculty members that will design shorter study abroad trips for students around particular classes and interests, so that you have an opportunity to experience an international experience of something related to that. I imagine that as we go forward and now develop our supply chain, our business ethics and innovation center, there'll be a lot of opportunities that can develop. Some of that was delayed and way late because of COVID, but those have started to come back on board now. You're welcome.
Thank you, students and distinguished guests, for the fruitful discussion. Now, following this insightful exchange, I now invite Reverend Dr. Baiju, Antony, CM, Principal, DePaul College, to share his insights, and as a part of responsible recall, he'll have a few words. Please.
Good afternoon. Sorry. We had a long 1 hour of session on internationalization of higher education. As most of us are all Indians, and we know Indians are crazy about internationalization now, right? I'm sure Dr. Chandra and as well as Jim will know, they are aware that India has overtaken China in terms of the highest number of international students in the US right now. It was Chinese students, even when I was doing my studies, it was Chinese students all the time. Indians were somewhere around second or third. But over the last few years, international students in America, the highest number is Indian. That means we are very much fond of not only US, Canada, Australia, UK, any country you go, Indian students are there. And we go primarily to US and the North American as well as some of the European countries for our studies. So, in that context, this summit is very useful, and this collaboration that we have between DePaul and Niagara is highly useful and beneficial. So, from that angle, as the President said in his talk, it was only a document for some time. The MOU between Niagara and DePaul was only a document for some months, from last February 19th till now. But it has become a living thing right now. exactly last year, the month of February 19th, the president was here to sign this document, and exactly a year after, he kept his word, came back to DePaul to make sure that this MOU that we signed is not just in paper, but is a living thing. Now it took a lot of personal effort from Jim, I call him Jim, as well, because right from 2013, when DePaul College was started, Jim expressed his deep desire based on our, not a batchmate or a classmate, is senior to me in everything, not only as a priest, but also as an educationist. So many, I think Jim has worked primarily in higher education entire life as a priest. And he knows enough about higher education and stuff. So, and the love that he has towards the Vincentian charism and the mission, and especially Vincentian education over these years, was the reason when he knew that we have started a college here, he said we need to work together. I'm sure, I reminded Dr. Chandra, sometimes back in 2016, they hosted me there in Niagara to have a discussion on how to take this discussion forward to make it real. Something happened in between, we couldn't carry it forward, but it was God's will that it should happen, and therefore it came back after the COVID, and it became real now. So, lot of personal effort he has taken, lot of personal interest he has shown, and it has become real now. So, from school, Alan is going from college, and he's going on a 4-year undergrad program in Niagara. The first student from the Foote International Residential School to go straight from the school with a scholarship to Niagara. Kirti from college is going to Niagara on a tuning program. So 2 years here, 2 years there. Again with a scholarship. I think they both are accepted. That's what I'm told. So congratulations to both of you on that. You will be the torch bearers of DePaul, and the people now will come behind you, right? They come after you. So from college, from kid will be the one to be the torch bearer for that kind of tuning program. From DePaul school, Alan will be the one to initiate that process and be the model. So on behalf of DePaul, we want to acknowledge both of you. So please, both of you come forward and receive a token of appreciation from the President. For us, it means a lot. Making this MOU a living thing means a lot. Now, coming back a year after, by the President himself with his Dean of Education, and Dr. Shan is going to become soon the Global Development Program Director. So that's going to be an exciting thing that she'll be the one to deal with us now more and much more. So from here we go forward again. More options for DePaul school as well as college is coming up as the MOU becomes more living thing. For DePaul students, the other way this program becomes useful is the transition from here for DePaul school students as well as DePaul college students, the transition from here, India to US studies, especially Niagara, becomes very easy, transparent, at the same time financially beneficial. Now I know working with my students the last 9 years in DePaul. Many of our students have gone to US or UK or Canada for their higher studies after they have completed degree. Even though we have said many times, we have introduced them to different agencies who might help them in that transition. Most of them have taken least interest, but after a year or so, they have approached so many agencies in different cities, worked with them, and paid a lot of money, agents' money, service charges, all kinds of stuff. Sometimes not knowing where these guys are going, not knowing how this transition will become real, what kind of universities they go, what kind of degrees they get, the authenticity of the college, the authenticity of the program, the certificate, not knowing fully well. Now, to DePaul students, both the college as well as school, this transition is real, is easier with the help of Harshitha as well as Akhil. Both have been working together with us since a few months after the MOU has happened. And you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go any city or any agent for anything. You need to just go to them, just talk to them over the phone. And Kirti and Anand both did over the phone. Never went to anybody in person. We made this transition very easy without any extra money coming in. No money we had to pay to them. Go straight to the... So, without any intermediary in between, any agents in between, any organization in between, to whom we have to pay so much money, this has become real. And that's very good option for us with the MOU. It is authentic, it is transparent, it is easy. For us, another aspect of this MOU that has become real is for both institutions, DePaul school as well as college, it has improved our institutional profile. To tell that we have international collaborations, we have international networking, we have people coming from other universities. Now in the case of Niagara, from Niagara people coming to us, we go to Niagara, and from here on this relationship will be much more double. So to tell the world that we offer an incredible program, and that's what is another aspect of this MOU. Going back to what Dr. Chandra said, we also as a college, we have to go through a lot of accreditations, and now my faculty members are working hard these days on going for our first accreditation, national accreditation, and we call NAC. Now, one of the criteria of NAC is that how many MOUs you have, and how many MOUs you have, not just MOU, functional MOUs. You have in this country, how many functional MOUs you have with international. And that's another, we get a lot of score for that. So, it is not easy for us to develop functional international MOUs. Now, what has happened with Niagara, which again, with other universities and institutions that we are going to develop, is that we are going to make this institution and accreditation process much easier and better. So, thanks to both of you, for Jim as well as Chandra for taking this effort to come back to us again. Harshitha and Akhil, thank you for facilitating. And to all of you, make use of this opportunity that we have. Spread the news around and do well academically and every other thing. Make use of this opportunity to excel yourself and take you far. So once again, thank you very much and do well. Our first guys are going, Alan as well as Kirti. We want just to ask them to share what has been their experience. No? Just 1 or 2 minutes, just share to us how this was and what you feel about it.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ms. Kirti Amadala, currently studying in DePaul College, pursuing my bachelor degree in psychology and English. Today, I stand before you filled with immense gratitude and joy as I reflect on my experiences while applying for this training program. First and foremost, I would like to thank our DePaul College Principal, Dr. Baiju Antony and our faculty coordinator, Dr. Licy. Your unwavering support, guidance, and dedication has made this journey not only possible, but truly enriching. And I'm also deeply grateful for Niagara University family. I thank you for welcoming me with such a warmth, and I feel fortunate to learn from you, to experience your traditions firsthand. And this training program has not only broadened my horizons, but has challenged me to step out of my comfort zone, fostering both personal growth and intellectual growth. And I'm truly thankful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anish, and I'm now in 12th grade. I have my board exam soon. Well, I have spent 12 years in this school, and I am really grateful to the opportunities they have provided. And this opportunity they're giving us to go to Niagara University is probably the biggest and the best one there is. And so I'd like to thank our principal, Anish, Xavier, and all the faculty who have encouraged me to take part in this. I would also like to thank Mr. Akhil. I think it was in Children's Day when he came here to talk about the Niagara University. I just wanted to know and had attended the session. After the session, the need for joining the university and meeting new people was very inviting. See, while being in the school for 12 years, it becomes like a comfort zone. You can be yourself, and knowing that there's a university I can go to which has a collaboration with the school, and a similar area, a similar space, it's more comfortable, and I'm really happy that I am getting the opportunity to go there. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, and thank you, Alan and Kirti, for sharing the response from the Paul campus, your views and perspectives on this global collaborations. Every remarkable event is shaped by collective efforts of many individuals. To extend our heartfelt appreciation, I will invite Reverend Dr. Shijo, Antony, CMT of Studies, DePaul College, to deliver the expression of gratitude.
Respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, faculty members, dear students, as we come to the conclusion of this enlightening and insightful education summit on the internationalization of higher education, it's my privilege and honor to extend a heartfelt word of thanks on behalf of DePaul College and DePaul International Residential School. At first and foremost, our deepest gratitude goes to Dr. James Maher, CM, President of Niagara University, for his invaluable presence and thought-provoking insights. Father, your vision and leadership in fostering global education have truly inspired us today. Thank you. A special thank you to Dr. Chandra, Foote, Dean, School of Education, Niagara University, for sharing your expertise and highlighting the transformative impact of international education. Thank you. We are also grateful to Ms. Harshitha Kapoor, Coordinator, Niagara University, and Mr. Akhil Ajay, Indian Representative at Niagara University, for their dedicated efforts in coordinating and strengthening academic collaborations between our institutions. Thank you. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to Dr. Baiju, Antony, CM, Principal, DePaul College, and our Father Anish, Xavier, CM, Principal, DePaul International Residential School, whose unwavering commitment to academic excellence have made this summit possible. Thank you. A sincere thank you to Professor Sebastian, Vettickal, CM, Secretary, Vincentian Education Society, for Santoy, Kurian, CM, Financial Administrator, for their constant support in ensuring the seamless execution of this program. Thank you, fathers. We also wish to acknowledge Dr. Licy, KG Coordinator, Mr. Joshy, PJ, IQAC Coordinator, Mr. Antony, Academic Coordinator, DePaul International Residential School for their meticulous planning and dedication, which played a crucial role in the success of this summit. Thank you. A heartfelt thank you to all the faculty members, staff and students who have actively engaged in today's discussions, making this summit a platform for meaningful dialogue and collaboration. With that, I extend my warmest gratitude to each one of you and look forward to future collaborations that will further strengthen the global landscape of higher education. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you guys.